And when we got off the plane, everybody was like we all just said it at the same time. We was like, woo.
Hi, my name is Dale Harrison.
Hi, I'm Dept, and you're watching.
You got me on the too.
Our white friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need to get some of that white privilege. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I love about the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? The pandemic partnered up with the Black Lives Matter movement, and I'm talking about they was giving out checks for black sadness. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, I still be getting some black sadness checks. You know what I'm saying? or white guilt checks, whatever you want to call them. But I'm just talking about those white guilt checks coming. I got one coming in right now. I just followed up today. A white guilt black sadness check. Guys, I love racism. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, I am also racist. You know what I'm saying? Yes, but my racism is bipolar. You know what I'm saying? My racism is directly affected by my desires. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a white man give me a job, those are my brothers in Christ. You know what I'm saying? A white man don't hire me, it's because he's the devil. I see a black man with I see a black woman with a white man. Sister, you love who you love. You know what I'm saying? The Lord made one human race. You know what I mean? I see an unattractive black man with a white woman. I'm like, because I mean, not unattractive. I see an attractive man with a.
Shucks. I forgot. Oh, no. You know what? I was about to, hold on. Let me let the joke play because I forgot I cleaned up that.
I'm like, because it's not dating the devil. You know what I'm saying? But I see an unattractive black man with a white woman. I'm like, let this brother live. Come on now. Who this brother gonna date? A white man trying to holler, I'll be like, yeah, brother, give me your number. So I can't keep waiting on black men and think they God's gift of green earth out here. A black man clicking on the other line, I'm like, yeah, what took you so long? I was about to start dating the devil! Sorry, guys. There was a lot of white devil there in that joke. These are just jokes, guys. Unless, of course, you piss me off. And then you're gonna be the devil!
So much truth in those jokes, guys. So much truth. First of all, I just want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. It is just me tonight and cousin Brian Lynn. Thank you so much, y'all, for tuning in. Stacy, when I tell you, it's the show. Girl, let me tell you something. The Lord has worked on this voice. He has worked on this voice. Kay, Stacy, cousin, Brian Lynn. Hey, long time fam. I'm so happy you tuned in, guys. It's just gonna be me tonight. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here because, well, I'm gonna be here for the whole hour. Cause I ain't gonna stiff up my time, but I'm filming my own show this week, this weekend. And it has been like, so I didn't even want to run around. I told my homegirl if she could join me today. Then of course, cousin, you text me and I was like, you want to come on with me? In fact, let me do this right here so it can be an open line for anybody that do want to come on tonight. Let me do a copy and I'll put it right here in the comments so I could do an open line tonight if anybody wants to, frequently discuss it, or anybody wants to come on during the discussion, then I can do it like that. But I didn't want to chase down any guests because it has been such a listen. This happened with my special. The Lord told me to do my own special. Then I'm like, Lord, I ain't even been on stage like that. What you talking about? Do my own special? But when it's the Holy Spirit, I cannot sleep. I can't think of nothing else until I obey. That's how I know it's the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? When it's myself telling me what to do, child, I can sleep because you know what I'm saying. I'm if it's myself, you know. But when it's the Holy Spirit, it's a nudge in my spirit that I cannot get rid of until I do exactly what, because He knows that the purpose He has for us. So, and that's what it is He's like, this is the next step. So anyway, I had gotten this like settlement, and I was like, all right, well, I could just save this. But then the Lord, even I was thinking too, I was like, I'm gonna get a car. But then I kept hearing the Lord say, no, you're not gonna get a car with this. I got something for you to do with this. And then I pitched my book to these people. These people really liked it, but they was like, I really want you to have a book proposal that is not going to get denied. And right now, the book proposal is good, but it loses me. I'm tempted to take it on as is, but she was like, once I get you in front of a publisher, if they say no, they very rarely come back and say yes again. Even after 6 months, they won't look at you for another 6 months. So she was like, I want you to get with this ghostwriter. So of course now the ghostwriter get introduced to me a week before the settlement get here. Okay, so the Lord is like, okay, do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do that because I definitely want a book deal. I definitely want to, you have to graduate yourself in this business. You have to graduate to six-figure advances and way high figure advances in, for what I do. I'm an entertainer. So I've got to figure out ways to make to where I am getting chunks of money at a time and not just like, some gigs, some people see me on TV, right? I have done like films, like movies that are playing right now, and that was like $200 for the day. Like, so you could see if somebody is paying you 241 for a day, and I'm talking about this is in the union now, okay? If somebody is paying you 241 for the day, you can imagine how many of them you gonna need in order to live in a house on the hill, okay? In California. Do you know I was looking for a house at one time, like, to purchase a house at one time. I don't know what, I mean, not, I don't know what, but I was just looking around to purchase a house because they got all these programs where they could give you, they'll give you the down payment. But, I just ultimately decided not to do it because I don't want to be cash poor in the house. So anyway, but child, I was looking around some of these homes is $1 million for a one bedroom. Okay. And I'm talking about a two-bedroom is like 1.5 million. Now that's not everywhere, but like some of the houses that needed like a complete gut, a complete fix up, like you was gonna have to get a rehab loan. And those houses was 400 G's. I even saw one house that was on the market and it was like 125,000. So I was like, oh, this honey, this is my price range right here. 125. I call them. These people are sharing ownership of a house, and no one lives there. So you just buy into the ownership of the. I was like, no, I've got. First of all, only child is sharing. Them two words is like an oxymoron, right? That's like jumbo shrimp. You know what I'm saying? We don't do it. We don't do it. If we do it. I share opportunities. I share all the things that advance me in the kingdom well. But sharing a home that I'm gonna have to check on with so and so, no. Okay, unless we marry, no. That's the only way I'm gonna have to do it. So anyway, so thank you so much, cousin. You said I missed the hymn of Say Mama. What? I missed the of him say mama. You missing a word. Oh my God, get that book deal. So that's what I'm talking about, Kay. Yes. So the thing is, you consistently have to invest. Now, when you investing in a ghostwriter, honey, they not 50 cent. You got to invest. And the thing about it too is you need to invest in the best. You can't invest in no discount ghostwriter. You need to invest in who the people suggest because they know their work. And the thing is they all believe in you to be taking you on. So I prayed about it and the Holy Spirit was like, this is definitely where I want you to go. And I was like, okay. So that was one thing that was gnawing away at me. Okay. But then this next thing was producing my own show. Now, Kay, you've been to Dell's Juke Joint before. Okay. And Stacy, you haven't been, but hopefully when you come out here, you'll do. I do a show called the Dell's Juke Joints. And let me see if I can put up a video of the Dell's Juke Joint. It is such a great variety show. And I do it just like a juke joint, um, just like the juke joint. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if you go pull it. If I pull it, I'm gonna pass it. Oh, look, here you go right here. Where's my right here, right here, right here. This was where it go? Yep, yep. You know,
Put fire inside of you. Anytime you feel danger or fear, then instantly I will appear. Yeah, I'm everyone.
let me tell y'all something. I need to record that so you see how I've made it real funky. I wish somebody would have told me about my stomach so when they recorded that video, I could have just had a flat looking stomach. Y'all know I love a flat looking stomach. Okay, I don't need a flat stomach. I just needed to look flat when y'all taking a video. Okay, but anyway, I digress. But anyway, so the juke joint, I have been doing that show for years with a live band. We have poets, we have comedians, we have singers, and the Lord was just putting on my heart to do my own show. Now, of course, I've always, when I thought about my own show, I'm thinking about, my own sketch show because, I've like for years I have been writing what's called evergreen sketches. So like evergreen is like timeless. Like I can put the sketch out there anytime and it'll always be funny because it's not based on like, any current events or whatever. But I've been writing all these sketches in my phone, just being like, one day SNL is gonna call, one day I'm gonna be able to do this. And so the Lord is like, do it right now. Okay. So then I just kept trucking slow. I'm talking about I have been getting a lot of sleep. Like, when you stress out, I don't know about y'all, but like sometimes when I have this worry in my system of like doing the next project, I just need to lay down. Like whenever like my is all the thoughts is rolling in my mind, I'm like, I just need to lay down. I just need to lay down. Like I have been doing so much lay down. Thank you so much, Samuel. Kay saying your honesty, honey. Yes, you gotta have the honesty. Yes, that's exactly what it is. You said a juke joint. I felt like I was in a club in the color purple. Yes, Kay. That's exactly the style. That is what a juke joint is. So that's what hey Sam Griffin. So that's what I've been doing is so basically I was preparing to do like, okay, I'm gonna do sketches and then I don't know what I'm gonna do a 2 day shoot. And then as I couldn't get in touch with some people, could get in touch with other people. I just kept thinking to myself, like, oh Lord, what am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna do the show? What concept? And then the Lord would be like, look, release it, but don't cancel it. Okay. Release the show to me, but don't cancel it. So then I laid down and then he was like, okay, you're gonna do the juke joint. That's what's happening. You got all these like all the people that's coming to do the sketches, they are poets and comedians and performers and all of this. So he's like, what about showcasing them so you can have an actual like late night show where you show original performances? So then I was like, all right, well let me just finally get everybody confirmed in the group. Then when I confirmed everybody in the group, then everybody was like, okay, can I make it on Saturday? So then I talked to the people today. Then the people was like, the producers, now they was like, okay, we're gonna do one long day. So then when I was getting out the shower, the Lord was revealing to me more and more, honey, it's time to showcase the people on the show. You've got comedians. It's time to do that. Let's call people like around 3 o'clock. So I checked the messages on Instagram where I had, put everybody in a group message, and this girl was like, Dale, I just wanted to hit you separately. I could be there like 3 o'clock. So that was like an extreme sign that I could, if she's saying she could be there at 3 o'clock, and the Holy Spirit is telling me to get people in there by 3, so we could do a juke joint. I could do like a little interview with them. We could walk the streets of LA, and I could do a little intro segment with them, and then they perform later, in the episode, and then I could just do my sketches by myself. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever can be there, we could do my sketches by myself. So anyway, but the Lord keep telling me, don't keep overthinking it. I got it. It's gonna come together. Everything is gonna happen together. Thank you so much. You said eyelashes are fire. Well, thank you so much. You say you should see me without a shirt on. You got abs. Sam Griffin, I need to see you. I got the link right here. Let me put the link up here again. Okay, if anybody, but don't show your abs, but this is an open show, open line tonight on the show. Let me actually put that in the um let me actually put that in the ticker tonight. I want to create it. Open line tonight. Link in comments. First of all, I can't thank y'all enough that y'all come each and every week to this show. If you just looking at this on playback, hit that subscribe button right now. Hit that subscribe. I am almost monetized on this channel. That is what I set out to do. And I'm only 400 hours away from monetization, and that is not long at all. So thank y'all so much for letting the videos just play. Let's watching the videos. Um, Let me get back to the ticker right here, because open line tonight, link in comments, and I think I want to have this scroll across. Let me do this right here and have it scroll across. Save this banner, and let me tick on that. Open line tonight, link in comments. Mike Lee. Oh no, no, no. I thought it was Mike Lee, but that was his name. Oh, my mama friend wants me. That's what you was saying, Brian. Right. You say I only show my naked abs in private, not for everyone else to see. Great, okay, because we don't need to see them on the Dell show, but hopefully we can just trust your word that the abs looking good. You say gave you a comment about your beautiful eyelash. Thank you so much, y'all. Okay, well, the first topic I got, for tonight, and I'm glad y'all on here, because did y'all hear the about Trump slashing the Department of Education? I've got to pull it up, honey. Trump has written an executive order which dismantles. Let me see. Where is it? Trump. Yeah, here you go, right here. Trump has written an executive order dismantling the Department of Education. It's actually not fully dismantled, but it does get rid of 13 jobs, 1,300 jobs. Some people left voluntarily, and so my whole question about this is, what have y'all done for us lately with the Department of Education? The thing about it too is, as a black person, and a black person who generally has voted, Democrat, sometimes you want to get with your Democrat friends and you just want to hate whoever they hate. And, of course, they hate Trump, and I don't hate anyone, because, hate is not a kingdom behavior. I actually be praying for Trump and praying for Elon, because, they are running the country, and I do want them to find the Lord. I do want them to hear from the Lord. So I actually be praying for them, because even in the Bible it says that we need to be praying for our leaders. So I do that. But when I looked up the Department of Education, so basically my question is, Has the DOE done enough for Black students and Black teachers? We think about the Department of Education and Trump dismantling is blessing or curse. What say you in the comments? I can tell you this. I looked it up. Let me center myself. And the question I asked AI was, and it was real simple. It just said, how has the Department of Education helped public schools in black neighborhoods and white neighborhoods? Now this is AI, okay? The Department of Education has played a complex role in both black and white neighborhoods, often reflecting broader systemic disparities. Here's a breakdown of how it has impacted public schools. Funding disparities. Of course, white schools get funded more than the black schools. School resources. Black schools often have fewer advanced courses, outdated textbooks, teacher quality and retention. Many black neighborhoods struggle to attract and retain experienced teachers due to lower salaries and challenging working conditions. Okay, now challenging working conditions means y'all get y'all kids, okay? Because people got to go and to work and work with y'all bad, unruly kids. Okay, so stop making it hard for the teachers, okay, and get home and discipline these kids right so they can have respect. Because child, my grandma, one thing, God rest her soul. Let me tell you something about my grandma, honey, she will beat you wherever you had the offense at. Okay. So that's why we knew not to have an offense at school, because she was coming up there to correct the offense in front of everybody. You hear? So back to the question right here. Okay. The question is, what have you done for us lately? Uh-huh. Ooh, yeah. Blessing or curse, the dismantling of the Department of Education. Has the DOE done enough for black students and black teachers? What say you in the comments? Because I'm gonna get back to the results, but um, you said, hold on, let me see what the comments. First of all, Kay said, "Bless you." I guess you saying, "Bless your your abs." You said we need to talk about Trump and the tariffs. This is why the stock market fell. Okay, the argument between Trump and Zelensky was so crazy. Probably not, but his new program will do. Probably not, but will his new program do more for us? Okay, you mean his new program for the DOE do more for us? Clarify that in the comments. You said the egg prices are skyrocketing when you go into a corner store. You want an egg sandwich and everything is going up. The eggs was up before he got it off. Do y'all remember before he was even in office, the eggs was up. Eggs was like $8. So I don't know what is the what egg gate. What is this egg gate about? Like about the price. I remember when I first got here and them gas prices just straight skyrocketed when Trump got it off. I remember that. You know what I'm saying? Like the gas price used to be like two something, and then they went to three something, then they went to four something, then they went to five something. There's some places in LA it would be like six and seven something per gallon, and this is like for regular gas. Okay, this wasn't no diesel, this wasn't no nothing. So, child, I don't even be affected by when I see egg prices. You know, they go up and down. I don't even be affected by it because I'm so used to the things going up and down. Like we live in a capitalist society, constantly doing something. You said it's a good time. Black kids need a good education, not end up being in the streets. Okay, this is so crazy that you said this. You said black kids need a good education and not end up being in the streets. Okay, well, let me pull this image up. Okay, hopefully I can pull both of these images up together. Let me see here. Oh, I can only pull one up at a time. We do need a great education, but I looked at this article on LeBron James, right? Let me pull up the other thing on LeBron James. Let me pull this up. Let me see what this pulled up, the present image file that I think is this right here. LeBron. Okay, yeah, let's pull this up so y'all can see what's going on with LeBron. Look at this right here. Okay. Oh, it's so small. LeBron James, I'll read it to you though. LeBron James with no father, no college education, no training, and very few role models except his single mother, Gloria. They handed this young, dirt poor kid 420,000 per week at the age of 18 to play basketball and become the face of the $75 billion NBA. He married his high school sweetheart, Savannah, was never arrested, never used drugs, never humiliated his wife publicly with side chick stories, no outside babies, never divorced, never in the news with so much as a parking ticket. Excellent father. Heavily involved with his three kids' activities. Greatest player of all time. 20 years later, same dude, same maturity, same chick, same family, reputation intact. A billionaire earning over 2 million per week. He has sent 2,300 at-risk kids from his hometown to college, fully paid for. So the question is, okay, who you think who you think responsible for that? You think the Department of Education is responsible for that, or his mama bearing good morals, putting this kid in the right activities? Who do you think is responsible for this? Because sometimes I feel like we look at these agencies that have disenfranchised us all this time. You know what I'm saying? Um, we look at these agencies and we're just like, oh no, they taking this away, they're taking DI, they're taking the, and we want to definitely have some of the benefits, but I feel like some of the agencies we wasn't getting the benefit in the first place. Like, okay, so back to the Department of Education. Okay, let's back to this. Look right here. I said so now it says in the white neighborhoods, higher funding, more advanced placement in STEM programs, okay, parental and community involvement, stronger PTA networks, less policing, more support services, higher college attendance rates. So then I said, revise this answer to give specific dollar amounts in white neighborhoods in California versus black neighborhoods. Because see, with AI, you gotta prompt it, or it's gonna be you got to prompt it correctly, or you might get a general answer. So that's why I picked California. Okay. In California, funding disparities, predominantly white and non white school districts, are significant. On the average, majority non white district receives approximately $2,226 less per student compared to white districts. Okay. The disparity translates to a substantial funding gap, which majority white school districts nationwide receive $23 billion more in total funding than non-white districts. This is coming. This is me looking up what the Department of Education has been doing. Like before y'all, before Trump came along to slash y'all, this is what y'all been doing. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, with the funding that you had now, the resources that you had now, people are upset that Trump is slashing jobs, but some of y'all was using y'all job to disenfranchise our community, disenfranchise non-black, non-white communities. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's hard for me to, and also too, I am a person where it's like I do want us to put more of the education, more of the things that our kids learn into our hands. Now I do agree that we need the public schools, but um you know I, I mean, I'm telling you, I remember being raised by my grandma, and my grandma could not finish school because she had to drop out to take care of her ailing mother, okay, and raise her brothers and sisters. And she reminded me what a privilege it was. What a privilege is. What I'm talking about. This is I had a few white students in the class, but this is a majority black school. And when I moved to a whole nother state, this is a majority black school in a black neighborhood, in a low income neighborhood. And when I moved to another state, I had my credits, the knowledge that I took with me from that school, from my grandma making me study, I was able to put it with some summer school courses, and I was able to skip over the 11th grade. That is how much you can be prepared at home and at school with no resources, you know? Hey, Gabrielle Jefferson, how you doing? So, Kay said if you just purchase a book or pay for a college student's meal, that helps them move forward. And this is what Eddie B was saying on the last week's episode. He said yes, it's good to boycott the targets of the world, because I had mentioned that we are a $1.3 trillion spending community, the black community. And he was like, let us take $100, 10 million of us take $100, that'll be $1 billion, and let us fund the HBCUs ourselves. Now let us take another $100 and let us fund the our own public schools for blacks. Now the only thing is too is with us funding ourselves, this because we have a history of this, of the government being extremely evil to the black community. You see the Tulsas and the Rosewoods of the world. That's it's not my fear, but that's the things that happen. um Gabrielle, how you doing? But I feel like I want to see us take more control of what's happening with the kids. Because right now they going to public school paying the demonic rap music. Now they turn it into a rap. Now everybody ready, angry, ready to kill each other. Like I feel like I want us to take back the youth, take back, the you said I wanted to see you do more. Yep, using their position power to do dirt. I wanted to see you do more Tyree boss lady skit. Child Tyree is, I think he's back. Um, excuse me, y'all. In California, I've been seeing him more. I'm open to it, but let me tell y'all something. Mama has to graduate. I'm glad you came on here because I love doing the sketches, and they fun and they go viral. And as soon as those sketches start paying this here rent, that way I can get back to them full time. Cause honey, you could be doing a lot of stuff that people love and people love on the web, and you could be eating out of trash cans after you finish a viral sketch. You see what I'm saying? You doing all that and still got to go down to the EBT office. Stop playing. But I love doing them. I want to get back to them. But that's what I was saying earlier in the show before you joined on. I've been doing my own projects. Shout out to my special on Amazon Prime. I've been doing my own projects because, honey, that's what you got to do. You gotta graduate yourself out here, Gabby. Gabby, you gotta graduate yourself out here. Okay, but let me give you this while you on here, Tyree. Tyree, how was that? Stacy said, I feel that the state you live in will be very important going forward. How rich is your state will be the game changer, especially if the tax dollars are going to be redistributed to the states. I feel like how dedicated is your community? Because it's really not your state, it's your community. And how are y'all benefiting the community? When I lived in Brooklyn, let me tell you something, honey. People was like that's why I don't even listen to those you see these podcasts and they be like the black community is only 1%, just how they was in the Great Depression. No, 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 I don't believe that. I don't believe no stats that's put out here by people that wrote we was 3/5 of a man in a textbook. No, because if you look at the stat, like look at every stat. COVID came out, high blood pressure come out. We the worst in the high blood pressure. Cholesterol come out. We the worst in the cholesterol. Cancer come out. We the worst in the cancer. Then COVID came out. We the worst. How we the worst in the new? How are we the worst in the new stuff? Y'all ain't even got no statistics to go by, and we still the worst. That's why I don't. That's why I don't do it. I don't be like, no, 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 no. Y'all cannot because see to take advantage. of a people, you fill them up with bad information about themselves. You steal their identity, okay, and then you make them think that all they are is sickly and poor, and they stay divided, and their self-esteem stay low. And that is why I don't go by statistics, because I'm like, these people wrote that we was three-fifths of a man in a book. Do you understand what I'm talking about? How diabolical you gotta be to go print in a book that are people that you specifically brought over here because y'all was too stupid to know how to do agriculture. They want to make you think that the enslaved people was brought over here and they could not do nothing, and the white man had to teach them everything, when it's in fact, we are from the sun, the surplus, the agricultural lands, the mining, the masonry. We had all that before we were captive. So that's why you have the White House and the plan. You think a white man was drawing the White House plans, and then a person that couldn't read came along and said, "Oh, Master, I gonna figure it out." No, this man drew the whole White House, and the thief who stole the people and stole the people's identity and printed lies about the people. That is the person that took credit for building the White House with and the light bulb and the cars and everything. That's why I don't go by statistics, guys. You know what I'm saying? Because statistics, you know what I'm saying? You have to know who you are, where you come from, your identity. In fact, I was just thinking too, because I listen to a lot of motivational, things, and it'll be white preachers on there. And, sometimes I will hear that same rumble that, is in our voice. The Holy Spirit dwells in them. And I just be feeling like, do they feel betrayed too by some of their own people? But then, of course, as soon as I think about, do the white man feel betrayed, then of course Puffy pop in my mind, like, do we feel betrayed by him? Because Black Devils is out there too. So, you know, uh, first of all, Gabrielle said you were turning me on. What? Turning you on how? By saying, Tyree, what, you got a mama complex? Tyree! hold on. Even better. Gabrielle! Get in here! Gabrielle! Get, when I say your name, I gotta say it like I'm way from some old back road. Gabrielle! Get in here! Oh my word. Can you say LOL? Tyree should put them on channel and have people pay. No, see, the thing is, people get paid for their videos, and that's why I decided to do this show, okay? Because look, when they was doing the videos, all of them was like, listen, this the way to go, this way everybody doing. And I understand that, but like, before everybody was doing these videos, long form videos, I was doing these videos. That's how I get on the Monique show. I spoofed the Monique show. I put it on YouTube, and guess what? My ex-husband sent it to Rodney Perry, and Monique called me the very next day and then brought me on her show like a year later to do stand up on her late night show, the Monique show. That is how I get there from doing, like, we did so many sketches. We had a channel. It was almost like almost like a million views on one of the sketches. Like, we did Nicki Minaj versus Lil Kim. And honey, when you've been doing something, and then other people come along and they're doing it years later, and then they're telling you this is the way to go, but you've already been, like, it's something you did a long time ago. You're hesitant to, like, get back on that same bandwagon because you, like, been there, that you was the innovator. You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted to do something on my channel, but I didn't know what. And then when I could hear the Holy Spirit when they say, do this Dell Show 2.0, where I'm like having people come on, where people tell me the news, and that's what I could get with, because I'm passionate about that. People send me stuff all day long, honey, and then I'm, of course, now because they send me stuff, I'm signed up for the mailing list. I'm signed up for this, so I'll be getting just news coming from everywhere where I can discuss it. That's that's me. That's better for me. I am getting ready to film my own show, but I just gotta. The thing about me is I have to do what the Lord puts inside of me. I can never look and see what everybody else doing and be like, All right, I'm gonna do it. And then if I do, I be still way behind people because it takes me a long time to like, you know, like I really gotta be motivated. My the artist in me has to be motivated. She can't just jump on board and be like, so and so doing this. That's what they say. That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? You said that's where I met you. Yes. Tyree! Hold on. You said two things can be true at the same time. I agree with you, sis. Statistics are often trash. That's right. Fake news. That's right. We good. Um, you said you become diabolical from fear of being found out and put out. I gotta tie it back to you said I'm sitting up here fixing the trash bag and you made me stop. Gabrielle! Brian, like Brian, Brian. When I say your name like somebody mama, I gotta be like, oh shoot, you know what? Hold on, let me see what my sound is like. Y'all obviously y'all hear me good. Oh shoot, I'm way far away from the mic. Now I gotta keep it like this. Can y'all hear me? Now I gotta keep it like this because I want it to be even the whole time. Okay, I'ma just keep it like this. Y'all can hear me good though, right? Okay. Um. So anyway, back to you, Brian. When I say your name, look, I gotta rest my. When I say your name, Brian, I gotta rest my hand on something. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be like, Brian, Brian. What did I tell you to do when I told you to do what you do and you didn't do what I said you do, Brian? First of all, shout out, girl. Look at this. Shout out to my implant. I had to get an implant, honey, and I have waited for 1 year to get that implant in, and I had to be patient, girl. They give you the like prosthetic tooth to like hold in your mouth until they place the implant in there. And child, I was protecting that prosthetic tooth. Like I do not want that to. I did not want to lose that prosthetic tooth, girl, and lose all my pride. Because I remember I lost one before. Let me tell you the story of my tooth. I had a prosthetic tooth before, and I lost it. And guess what? I lost it. Uh, I was doing my special. No, I do my special. Doing my special in New York. I filmed a special before in New York, and then I forgot the tooth in LA. But my friend was coming the next day. He was visiting LA from New York, and he stayed at my house. But I went to the airport before him, and he was able to bring the prosthetic to New York so I could film my special with it. So anyway, so then I get back to LA. Of course, I'm stressed out, honey. Wait. I just was talking about you. When I say I left my prosthetic too, and you was there visiting from New York, staying at my place, and you brought it with you. Anyway, so look, so I get back to LA. Of course, I'm stressed out. I'm delivering food. I'm doing Uber Eats. I'm doing Uber. I'm doing Lyft. I'm doing everything I can with this car, okay, to try to make rent and car note. And honey, um, I don't know what I did. I got out the car and the prosthetic tooth. I think I took it out to eat, and it must have flipped out on the ground. But child, I could not find it, and it was a source of straight depression. Every smile got to be like, or like you got to do like this. Like not like holding the side because it's like the side tooth. So you got to like hold that so that people can't see the side. So I'm doing that. So, but I'm on my faith journey too. So anyway, I have to go back to New York. And I'm going back to New York, and now I'm missing a tooth. You know what I'm saying? In the town that I come from New York, 10 years in New York. So I'm going to LA to make a better life for myself. So when I come back to New York, I need to look glamour. I'm coming back to New York looking like I've been straight doing meth out there with my tooth missing. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but I didn't have the money to replace it because it was just a struggle. But look, I stayed in my homeboy's house and I was talking to the Lord about it. And the Lord was like, call out to me what you need. And I was in a shower and I got so frustrated and I was like, Lord, I need my tooth. That night, I went to Jersey from the Bronx to a show. I performed at the show, still ain't have my tooth. And after the show, I sang my song. After the show, a guy approaches me in Jersey and he says, Hey, I really enjoyed your show. And I was like, thank you so much. And he was like, and I also do dental work. And I was like, okay. He was like, and you know, I was an artist for a long time before I started dental work. So I understand. So I'd be willing to just hook you up, pro bono. So I was like, really? I was like, okay, I'll call you. So I called him the next day and he said, here's my address. I'm going to have my assistant call and set you up an appointment. So she set me up an appointment. I think it was like for the next morning. Okay. I went on out there and guess what? I get out there and it's not a dentist. It is the guy who actually makes the prosthetic tooth the for a dentist. So he got like all these orders in that he has made for dentists. And he says, let me measure your tooth and I will fix your prosthetic. He measured it, he fitted my tooth, and then I went back the very next day, prosthetic tooth. The Lord, let me tell you something. God did. God did. See, sometimes, y'all, you don't need the money that you asking the Lord for. You just need to ask him for the thing that you need. Because sometimes he won't give you the money. I mean, if you need money, he gonna give you the money. He pay every bill. But sometimes I have been like, Lord, I need my rent, and the Lord will send a program that pays like 18 months of rent or 5 months or 6 months of rent. That time he sent the guy to just give me the two. No, no money required. Just straight. What are the chances? Okay, this is another thing I said. What are the chances that you would be getting the person that makes the prosthetic at a show to come up to you to say, I do? And guess what, y'all? In the kingdom, the chances are 100%. That's a video I put out like a few weeks ago on my Instagram. When you in the kingdom, there are no what are the chances? The chances are 100% that the Lord will provide for you. Let me see what the comments said. First of all, if y'all looking at this on Instagram on playback, hit that subscribe button right now, y'all. Thank y'all so much for hitting the subscribe button. Thank y'all for commenting. Please comment, like the video, watch the video the whole way through. I am almost monetized on this channel, and I just can't think it's because of y'all. It's because y'all come back every week and y'all view the videos and y'all view the shorts. And I am so ever grateful. And I have nothing funny to say about that. I am super duper grateful. Okay. You hear me? Gabrielle and Brad. Back to the comments. Okay. Also, too, y'all see it's an open line tonight. Okay. It's an open line tonight. Anybody want to come up and say something? I'm just putting it in the comments again. You just can copy and paste. You can come right up. So anyway, so let's get to the comments though. um, Stacy said, "You hear me loud and clear." Kay said, "This format definitely fits you." Thank you so much for saying that, Kay. I really love the encouragement. I really appreciate the encouragement you give me all the time, Kay. Everybody, okay. Um, Wayne Payne, Jamal said, "You said implant. I thought something else." Child, let me tell you something. In this town, do you know somebody just told me that when they really enjoy it. I went to see this like it was called um telescope night at Griffith Park, where every like all these organizations bring their telescope out so you could look at the planets. So this guy was telling me that he visited New York and he was like, I just really enjoyed it because everybody was just so natural out there. Out here in California, you just can't see it, but everybody was just so natural. Anyway, you said shout outs by Dell. Hold on, get back to the let me get back to Wayne Payne. Wayne Payne said, I remember that time. You said temporary tooth loss is a mess. I almost spat out a temporary crown in a concert one. Teeth all across the room. Jamal. And look, and now I got one that needs to be like I need another implant on like on the tooth that's right under the tooth that just got an implant. Child, the thing is, you got to do it. You know, if you need an implant, you got to do it. You can't remove the, like when you do an extraction, right? You need to plan on an implant because you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, sometimes the things shift. So that, and I'm serious about my teeth. Like, I want all my teeth. Honey, that's the, look, that's the one thing I do. Like, that's really what I can just honestly say I am so good with my money. Like I do not, you know, I'm not a person to be like, all right, let me go get this so and so bag. Let me go get these so and so type of shoes. But somebody tell me I can get a discounted implant too for $2,500. Oh, honey, all my money goes right there. Like I don't play with the things that I actually need, and that's back to the beginning of the show. What I was saying when I got this the settlement, the Lord told me, don't get a car, produce your show. And I remember he was telling me that about my special. And I just kept saying, because look, when I was in New York preparing for my special, honey, I was bombing. I was so that's the whole reason I went to New York too, because in New York, they are very honest with you. They don't try to laugh, they don't try to, they are very comedy savvy. So I just went to like prepare. And then I was just feeling like, I was there for like 30 days. And I was like, oh my Lord, the first week and something, I'm bombing up a storm. And then I started, the material started to come together as you get on stage every night, material just coming together. Then when I got back here, I was like, okay, all right, I think I'm going to, I think I'm ready, but I was feeling nervous, but I was just like, all right, I think I know how I'm gonna build it. I think I'm gonna call these people. I don't know how I'm gonna pay them. All of these like all this anxiety, but I knew I had to keep going, and now I'm so happy that I did. I'm so happy that I invested in myself. I spent the money to put out the body of work because that's what it is in this business. You graduate yourself. Yes, you're gonna get all type of roles, especially whatever you want, you're gonna get, especially if you're going for it, preparing yourself. But we don't have to just wait on this thing. We can now say, okay, they gave me a couple $1,000. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna budget and I'm gonna produce my own show because I'm like all these Tubies, all these Amazon platforms, all that. No, I'm supposed to have a late night show on these platforms. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could just upload and put something up there, why am I not uploading and then putting out ads to my people every week to be like the Dell show, this episode on the Dell show, especially when you could pull together resources, and that's really why I'll never leave LA. I mean, I can't say never leave LA. If I need to go back, to be close to my mom, I'm with that. But like if I don't have to do that, I'm gonna be right here because, and hopefully I can build up enough revenue where I can move my mother out here. But because I can pull together film crews at the drop of a hat, like that's what I so love about, the community and the teams that the Lord gave me here. Um, you said Lord came through. Yes, the Lord came through with that tooth. And guess what? He came through with the implant. Okay, you can't even tell I got an implant. He came through like a mug. Do you know? Let me tell you how I get the implant, honey. I called to USC Dental School. See, people don't be understanding how the Lord will provide for you. Okay, because honey, implants be like thousands, like 10,000. Okay, I had I didn't have a implant. I had crowns over here, and I paid 8,000. And guess what? I found a grant for that. Okay, I found a grant to pay for half of the 8,000. So I had to pay 4,000 for the crowns. And then guess what? When I went to the USC Dental School, they accepted me, and when I went to the dental school, the crowns was done wrong. So I didn't pay for it. I'm still paying. I mean, I got like till November before the payments is over. This year, the payments gonna be over. And I already got new crowns because the people should have did a root canal. Honey, let me tell you something. But now go to USC, everything is covered. The crowns was covered, everything except for the cleaning, which is only $46, and the implant, which was $2,500. Now it's gonna, new one's gonna be 26. But that's what I'm talking about. How the Lord be like, daughter, I will provide for you, and I need you to open up your eyes and see how I provide for you. Because sometimes you could be like, Lord, let me get $10,000 so I could get this. Then you get 10,000, but you got debt, you got this. The Lord is like, ask me specifically for what you need. You know what I'm saying? Because He might approve you for a credit card, a business credit card where you could charge up $2,500 and only got to pay $30 a month. It's so many ways. Stacy, you said it best. Look at Abba Father. Look at Abba Father. Man, that's a testimony. Come on now, pass the collection plate on that word. Pass the collection plate on that word. Brian Lynn says we good. Gabrielle Dell, I want to see you in more Kamala suits, talking suggestive. Gotta go. Love you. You said Miss Angie. I heard that. Health, wealth. Yep, New York got you ready. Yes, Kay, and I'm just talking about it's been a glorious path, I really love uh New York got me ready for so many things. And what I really love about what the number one thing it got me ready for here, and you spend a lot of time in isolation in New York. Here you build community here. Like here, I go to people's houses over here and we just be like chilling. That's what I super duper love. Kay, you remember we met out. We met out at California Pizza. Then we met out in Palm Springs. Then you came over to the when I was dog sitting at these people's house. You came over there. That's what I super duper love. That's what I feel like I love so much about LA is that it has New York got me ready when it comes to like, okay, you can dwell alone, but it had me yearn for actual community where, when people come in town, I'd be like, yeah, you could just come over. Like, in New York, we didn't do a come over. It's like, that train ride be so long, and I don't know, but here, and also too, we're older, so here it's honey, I be over at my homegirl house in the jacuzzi. Okay, I be doing Groupon massage. It really had, and also, and it's not just LA. I think what it is too is I have spent the last few years understanding my identity. We are from wealth, we are from wealth. Our Father owns it all. So when you say you're wealthy, you actually are. It's not no way in the future over here. I am wealthy. I am wealthy right now. So if I'm wealthy already, I don't have to be looking forward to this over here. I just do what the Lord tell me to do. He paid the rent. I can get massages, and I'm not talking about let me go spend 200 something dollars. I'm talking about I've gotten in the last month two massages on Groupon, one for $45, one for $25. Then bought my mama one for $25. Wealth, where you understand, daughter, get this for yourself, spend on yourself. Even my headshots, I got my headshots, new headshots, and I was just thinking to myself, oh shoot, these people just called me. Child, let me tell you something. My phone, I got it on do not disturb. But anyway, I just said, you know, once I realized I am wealthy, then just started acting accordingly, like not running all over. In fact, when I be running all over the place, I'd be like, "What am I doing? Oh my word! I need to sit down. I ain't got no business running all over the place because it's only in the stillness where the Father can bless me." In fact, when I was thinking about my show, I was like, I need to hurry up and go to sleep so I can hear what the Father is gonna tell me about the show in the next step. Like, you know what I mean? Wealthy like that. Like, let me communicate with my Father. Let me go lay down so I can communicate with my Father. Child. Um, I'm just looking. You said that's so true. Kay said that's so true. Community. That is us here in LA, Southern Cali, and I love it. Op, beautiful, y'all. I cannot thank y'all enough for joining me today. I had other topics that I wanted to talk about, um, but that's just how it goes. You talk about when you start talking about one thing, and let it flow. You know. If y'all are looking at this on playback, do me a favor, y'all, and hit that subscribe button right now. We do this each and every Tuesday. Next Tuesday, my cousin is going to be in the building. I'm going to have somebody else with my cousin in the building, and we're going to be talking about it all. So I just can't thank you enough. Y'all make sure y'all are following me on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on everything. I am Dell Harrison, but most importantly, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment this video. And if you need to get in contact with me, you can get in contact with me right on my website, iamdelharrison.com. Let me see my last, first of all, and I just got to say thank you so much to our audience. Thank you, y'all. Like, y'all mean everything to me that y'all come each and every week, to kick it with me. It means everything to me. Brian, thank you so much. Gabrielle, thank you so much. You said that hour went quick. Good show. Good night, all. Yes, Stacy, thank you so much. Good night, everybody. God bless you, and I will see you next time right here on the Show. Bye. Love y'all.